The Michigan Wolverines are 1-0 thanks to a dominating win over Colorado State, 51-7. This is Michigan's biggest win on opening day since 2016. Who is that opponent? That's right, it was Hawaii, and that's who Michigan plays in week 2. But let's recap week 1. The biggest question for Michigan on Saturday was going to be, how is Cade McNamara going to play? Cade is starting week 1, and we know that J.J. McCarthy is starting week 2. As the game kicks off, we don't know exactly what the plan is going to be for quarterback. Is J.J. going to play some? Is he not? Harbaugh said he probably was going to play both. So let's see what happens. On the opening drive, Cade McNamara didn't look great. He missed 2 receivers that he should have hit, and Michigan fails to move the chains, so they have to punt the ball. But it's easy to chalk that up to first game jitters. On Colorado State's first drive, they get a couple of first downs, but then here comes Mike Sacristill. That's right. That's what I'm calling him. Who had money on Mike Sainristil being the first Wolverine to get a sack? If you did, then give yourself a little pat on the back, because I didn't expect that. The second drive for the Wolverines was just a little bit better. Blake Corum had a nice run to the perimeter, and then Cade throws a little pass to Roman Wilson, and he's gone. Touchdown Michigan, easy peasy baby. Whatever jitters Michigan seemed to have on the first drive looked to be gone. 7-0 Michigan. Colorado State gets the ball back, and Rod Moore gets a pick. After that pick, you start to get the feeling that this game's going to go the way that we thought it was going to go. Michigan was favored by 30.5 coming in, and things are looking pretty good. After the run back on the interception, Michigan's already in pretty good shape to score again, but they stall out. Cade misses a couple throws. One of those looked to be intercepted, and replay overturned it, so Michigan settled for 3. Now, I'd like to point out, it looked like the receiver did stumble on the interception, so I'm not sure how much of that is on Cade. The announcers didn't seem to mention the stumbling. To me, it looked like it was kind of on the receiver too. The defense gets another stop. They're looking good. Michigan gets the ball back. It's great to see Ronnie Bell back. Crowd goes crazy, as I knew they would. The offense stalls in the red zone again. They called a run on 2nd and goal from the 10, which I wasn't crazy about, but it is what it is. You live with the play calls, you die with the play calls. Another field goal, 13-0. On the next drive for Colorado State, their quarterback drops in a pretty nice pass on the sidelines, but we get to see a little bit of Michigan freshman cornerback Will Johnson with a nice pass breakup on the sidelines there. And then on the 5th drive for Michigan's offense, here comes J.J. McCarthy. So we're already seeing McCarthy get a little playing time. He comes in for one play, hands off, and then he goes back to the sidelines. So just a one-play experiment. Cade comes back in. I'm no expert when it comes to X's and O's, but it looked like Michigan's offensive line played really well in this game. But on this drive, Trente Jones did get beat pretty bad and got Cade sacked, so Michigan had to punt again. Then we got to see the former Alabama commit Iyabi Anoma come up big on the next defensive drive, splitting the tackle and the running back, getting into the quarterback pretty quickly. Mike Morris was also in on that sack, so that was nice to see. One of the biggest questions coming into the season is, how's Michigan's pass rush going to be? Well, they look pretty damn good. They got 7 sacks in this game. Can I just say I love Blake Corum? He got a touchdown on Michigan's next drive. He's just such an elusive runner. I mean, we saw the hurdle in this game. The kid's a stud. I hope he stays healthy for the whole season. The defense really came to play in this one because in the next series, they got sacks on 3rd and 4th down. And then Michigan has a short field again and more Money Moody, another field goal. But that's after Eric All has an NFL level grab to get them just a little bit closer for that field goal. Michigan was up 23-0 at the half. I think we're all feeling pretty good. We know there's no danger in them losing this game. The defense looked great. The offense was not bad. It just didn't really feel explosive to me. I think maybe Cade is part of that problem. It just didn't feel like they were taking any shots down the field. Cade doesn't add much of a running element at all. So they really didn't need to be explosive and need to do a whole bunch because of how well the defense was playing. But still, I was hoping to see a little bit more out of the offense in the first half. On the first drive in the second half, the Colorado State quarterback gets hit. The ball comes out. To me, I'm watching and I'm like, that's a fumble. All the players just kind of stop and look, thinking it's an incomplete pass, except for DJ Turner picks it up, takes it all the way back to the house. Then ESPN goes into their piece on Mozzie Smith, who is Michigan's defensive tackle that weighs 337 pounds. I did a whole video on him. He was named the biggest freak in college football by Bruce Feldman at The Athletic. And as soon as they were done talking about him, he made a nice tackle for a loss, right on cue. And then another Michigan sack. Let me know if you've heard that one before. All right, so we're wanting some electricity out of the Michigan offense. Well, the next drive is where we get it. That's where the Corum hurdle happens. And then J.J. McCarthy comes in, and what does he do? Oh, just a 20-yard touchdown run. So we don't see any more Cade McNamara in this game. It's just J.J., and then we get a little bit of Alan Bowman, the transfer from Texas Tech. And we also get Alex Orji, insert joke here, and RG3 did insert his joke there when he said, an orgy in the end zone. We saw a good bit of playing time for some of the backups in this game, like Orgy, like Bowman. We got a little Dunlap at running back. We got a little bit of Stokes at running back. It looked like Michigan might pitch a shutout in this game, but the Colorado State quarterback threw a beautiful pass and hit his receiver in the back of the end zone, actually beating the freshman Will Johnson on that play. So final score, Michigan 51, Colorado State 7. We'll look at some stats here real quick for the game, and then I'll give my final thoughts. Total yards, Michigan 440, Colorado State 219. Passing yards, 206 to 137. Rushing yards, 234 to 82. Heyo, 6.5 yards per play to 3.7. Michigan got 25 first downs. They did give up 14 first downs in this game, and Michigan wasn't fantastic on third down, only going 3 out of 10, holding Colorado State to 2 of 11. But fourth down, 2 for 2, and they stopped Colorado State on 3 of their 4 fourth downs. So that was great. Only 2 punts for Michigan, no turnovers for Michigan, 2 for Colorado State, a slight edge in time of possession for Michigan. Cade McNamara was 9 of 18 for 136 and a touchdown. So if you take away that 61-yard touchdown to Roman Wilson, he's 8 for 17 with about half the yards. I know you can't take that play away. It's part of the game, but not super stellar passing day for Cade. On the ground, Corum 13 for 76 and a touchdown. Edwards 12 for 64 and a touchdown. McCarthy 3 for 50 and a touchdown. Pretty solid day on the ground. Probably the most explosive running play was McCarthy's touchdown. Check out how much the ball was spread around to the receivers. Roman Wilson had 2 catches, including that long touchdown. Eric All had his beautiful NFL level grab. Cornelius Johnson had a couple. Loveland had a couple late in the game. CJ Stokes, Hibner, Ronnie Bell, Corum, Neff, Schoonmaker, AJ Henning, Andrell Anthony, which I thought we might see a little more Andrell Anthony. We might in the next game against Hawaii. We'll see. A lot of different guys got involved in the passing game. Nobody really stood out as like a top receiver except maybe Roman Wilson, who was also involved in the return game too. Really, the whole defense played great. Junior Colson did kind of stand out. Sainer still looked like he had a great game, great first game on defense. Mozzie Smith, right on cue when they called him. Mike Morris looked pretty good out there. Chris Jenkins got his sack. Rod Moore with the interception. DJ Turner played great. I didn't know how much Anoma we would see, but it was nice to see him get that sack. And then, of course, we got our special teams beasts, Jake Moody, who is almost perfect all the time, and Brad Robbins, who has a perfect mustache, 2 punts, 94 yards, averaging 47 a pop. My final thoughts on the game are that I'm glad nobody got hurt. That's always a great thing, especially seeing what happened in the first game last year with Ronnie Bell. I was really happy to see no injuries, and I thought the defense just looked fantastic. Schematically, I think they're probably about the same as they were. Pass rush looked great. The secondary played great. They got beat on a long pass play, and they gave up some first downs and stuff, but pretty solid effort. Even though Michigan scored 51 points, I felt like we could have seen more from the offense, and JJ McCarthy just brings that. There's a different feel when he's in the game. I think we all see it. I don't want to say that it's impossible for Cade to win the job, because he might, JJ might not play that great against Hawaii. We don't know, but it just feels different when he's in there. He adds the playmaking ability. He adds the ability to scramble and make something happen, and he has a cannon for an arm. I'll grade this performance as an A. It was pretty solid on both sides of the ball, but I want to see more from the offense still. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're a Michigan football fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing more game recaps and previews all season long, including the preview for the Michigan-Hawaii game right here, JJ McCarthy's first start. And if it's not right here yet, that means that I haven't finished it yet. So just chill out and go blue.